Welcome to the Cowboys versus Ninjas podcast. We've got some awesome flash fiction for you today. Stories about ninjas, no less.
Two very different stories, actually. One's about like a modern day teenager and his parents, the kind you think are totally normal
Yeah, right.
until, bam, things get a little crazy.
A little. From what I read, this kid's world gets flipped upside down. And then the second story is more, I don't know, classic ninja.
Yeah, you could say that. A young apprentice who, well, let's just say she learns that some rules maybe weren't meant to be followed.
Ooh, that's good. I like where this is going. So basically, we're going to unpack all this, see what makes these stories tick. We'll look for those hidden meanings, the twists and turns, and why we're still so fascinated by ninjas, whether they're rocking the shadows in ancient Japan or sneaking around in today's world.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, let's kick things off with Shadow Code. This one's about Kai, right? Your average tech-savvy teenager who thinks his parents are, well, a bit on the boring side. I gotta say, that contrast really sets the stage for what's coming.
Oh, for sure. The story wouldn't hit nearly as hard if Kai already thought his parents were super spies or something. The fact that they seem so ordinary makes their disappearance all the more shocking. And it makes Kai's decision to investigate, well, it's more than just finding mom and dad. It's like he's trying to figure out who they really are.
Exactly. And he starts his search with his dad's old laptop. Talk about irony, right? You'd think he'd grab his phone or something, but nope. It's this clunky old machine that holds the key to their secret lives. And of course, Kai, being a tech whiz, bypasses all those firewalls and stumbles upon these hidden files. Right then you know there's something deeper going on.
Oh yeah, that's when the story really hooks you. And then he finds that encrypted file, the one labeled ONI. I have to admit, when I first read that, I was picturing Japanese demons, all that supernatural stuff. What about you?
Totally. I went straight to the mythical, thinking maybe there's some ancient curse or something. But then, and this is where the story gets brilliant, he cracks the file. Not with some super complicated hack, but with his mom's favorite cheesy saying about naps.
Right. Like, who would have thought? It's such a great detail because it immediately throws you off. You go from expecting this dark, scary secret to something so incredibly human and unexpected.
It's a total game changer. Suddenly, Kai has to rethink everything he thought he knew about his parents. Lame turns into maybe they're spies, or even, hold on, could they be assassins? It makes you wonder, right, how well do we really know the people closest to us?
Absolutely. That idea of hidden depths, that's a classic for a reason. It taps into our own curiosity about the unknown, the possibility that anyone, even our boring old parents, could have this whole other life going on beneath the surface. And the way the story slowly reveals the clues, the flight schedules, the blueprints, the weapons, all before actually saying the word ninja, it builds this amazing sense of discovery for both Kai and the reader.
And when the ninja thing finally clicks, it's almost played for laughs. The story even acknowledges how ridiculous and impossible it seems. But then Kai starts doing his research. He digs into these ancient scrolls, but he also analyzes modern surveillance footage. It's this cool blend of old and new that starts to make the unbelievable feel, well, believable.
I love that mix of the traditional and the modern. It takes this ancient figure, the ninja, and plants them firmly in the 21st century. And by having Kai research both historical and modern elements, the story grounds the fantasy in something tangible. It makes you think, okay, maybe this could actually happen.
So then the investigation leads Kai to, of course, an abandoned warehouse. Classic spy stuff, right? But what I found hilarious was that he grabs his sister's skateboard before heading out. It's like, even in this crazy situation, he's still just a teenager. You can feel that mix of teenage bravado and genuine fear.
Yeah, that detail keeps him relatable. He's not some hardened action hero. He's just a kid thrust into this insane scenario. And it's cool how the story uses his seemingly ordinary skills, his honed gamer reflexes and knowledge of parkour, things you'd think are just hobbies, and turns them into tools for survival.
It's like all those hours spent playing video games suddenly pay off in a life or death situation.
Exactly. And then we get to the confrontation scene. It's pure adrenaline. Kai finds his parents cornered by these figures in high-tech black armor. What a visual, right?
It's like a sci-fi movie meets a ninja flick. And Kai, well, he doesn't hesitate. He just reacts. It's that primal protective instinct kicking in, and it's powerful to see.
Absolutely. This is where Kai stops being the observer and becomes the hero. And his quick thinking, using his phone, the thing he usually uses for memes, to hack the power and create a diversion, that's brilliant. It's using whatever's at hand to survive, which is, pretty ninja-like in itself.
And in that darkness, we finally see what Kai's parents are truly capable of. They're fighting like Well, ninjas. It's the full reveal of their hidden depths, and it's intense. And while all this is happening, Kai's using the chaos to escape. He's learning fast.
You can see the wheels turning in his head. He's absorbing everything. And then the reunion with the dad cracking a pun. It's classic. Like, even in a tense moment, they can't resist a little humor.
It's their way of dealing with the danger, I guess. But Kai's not letting it slide. He wants answers, and the mom's offer of ninja lessons. That's where the story leaves you hanging. It's a perfect cliffhanger that promises a whole new chapter for Kai.
Shadow Code plays with a lot of familiar storytelling elements. You've got the everyman who gets thrust into an extraordinary situation, the reveal of the secret life, the hidden depths of the parents, and that ending definitely hints at like father, like son. Why do you think these patterns work so well?
It's like they tap into something deep within us. They give us a framework we can understand, a way to connect with the story on a gut level. We see ourselves in the ordinary guy facing the extraordinary. We love the surprise of a secret being revealed. And that idea of inheriting a legacy, that resonates with something primal. They might be familiar, but they work.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, ready for a change of pace, let's dive into Heart of Rebellion. This one takes us to a more traditional ninja world, with clans, codes, and a whole lot of internal conflict. Our main character, Mika, she's a young apprentice caught in a tough spot. Her friend Hana gets kidnapped, and Mika's instinct is to go save her. But the clan elders, well, they're all about tradition, even if it means leaving Hana to her fate.
Talk about a clash of values, right? You have Mika, who's all about loyalty and compassion, and the elders who are clinging to this ancient code that says no interference, even when someone's life is at stake. It really makes you question the whole point of tradition. Is it supposed to guide us, or can it become a barrier to doing what's right?
It's a question that's been debated for centuries. And in Mika's case, she sees that blind adherence to tradition, without considering the human cost, could be downright harmful. She's furious with the elders' dogma, and that anger fuels her decision to defy them. It's a powerful moment of choosing conscience over authority. It's like she's saying, I won't stand by and let tradition dictate what's moral.
And her departure. It's straight out of a classic ninja story. She slips away under the blood-red moon, a perfect image for the risk she's taking. And she's not just facing danger from the rival clan who kidnapped Hana, she's also being hunted by her own people. She's branded a traitor, a heretic. That's got to be a heady burden to carry.
Oh, absolutely. It shows the true cost of rebellion. She's risking everything, her place in the clan, her family, her entire identity. And yet she pushes forward because her loyalty to Hana outweighs the potential consequences. That's true courage.
And it's amazing how she uses the very skills her clan taught her, the skills meant to uphold their traditions, to go against them. She's a master of tracking and infiltration, and now she's using those abilities to rescue her friend. It's like she's turning the tools of tradition against itself.
It flips the script on the typical ninja narrative. Instead of being a tool for the clan, her skills become an expression of her own will, her own sense of right and wrong. And the story emphasizes how her love for Hana actually makes her stronger, more determined. It's like her emotions are fueling her abilities.
The reunion with Hana, though, it's not all sunshine and roses. Hana's conflicted. She's grateful, but she's also worried about what Mika's actions will mean. And then Mika herself has a moment of doubt, that realization that she's now clanless, an outlaw. It adds a real sense of complexity to the story, showing that rebellion isn't always a straightforward path.
It avoids those overly simplistic narratives where the rebel is instantly vindicated. Mika faces the consequences of her choices, and Hana's mixed feelings add another layer, showing that even those being rescued might have reservations about the methods used to save them.
And then, just when it seems Mika's on her own, her clan shows up, but not to help. They're there to condemn her, led by the elders, even her own brothers. Talk about raising the stakes. It really drives home the depth of their commitment to tradition, even if it means turning against one of their own.
It shows how deeply ingrained these beliefs are. This isn't just a disagreement, it's a fundamental clash of ideologies. And the fact that her family is part of the condemnation, that adds a whole other level of emotional weight to the situation.
But then, just when you think it's all over for Mika, things take another turn. The leader of the rival clan shows up, and Hana, inspired by Mika's courage, does something unexpected. She defies her own captors. It changes the whole game. It's no longer just about rescuing Hana, it's about challenging the very foundations of both clans.
That's a pivotal moment. It shows how one act of rebellion can inspire others to question the status quo, and the conflict explodes. It becomes this chaotic battle between those clinging to outdated traditions and those fighting for something new, something perhaps more just and compassionate.
The battle itself is wild, a real clash of ideologies. Mika's side wins, but the story makes it clear this is just the beginning. There's a bigger fight brewing, a fight for the future of the clans.
It's a realistic portrayal of how change actually happens. It's rarely a clean break, a single victory that solves everything. There are always going to be those who resist, who hold on to the old ways.
But even in that uncertainty, there's hope. The elders, they see Mika's victory, and their reaction is surprising. It's not anger, but a kind of grudging respect. And the head elder even wonders out loud whether some laws were meant to be shattered. That's huge, right?
It's a crack in their rigid worldview. It suggests that even the most entrenched traditions can be questioned, can evolve, especially when faced with compelling actions and a powerful moral argument. Mika, through her rebellion, has forced them to reconsider what they thought was unchangeable.
The story ends with Mika's future uncertain, but she's become this symbol, this catalyst for change, as the story puts it. She defied everything she knew, and in doing so, she might have just set in motion a revolution.
It shows the power of individual action to spark broader societal change. Even though she faces an unknown future, she's become a beacon of hope for those who seek a different path, a path that values compassion and justice over blind adherence to tradition.
Heart of Rebellion, just like Shadow Code, uses those familiar storytelling elements to pack an emotional punch. You've got La Resistance, the fight against an oppressive force, a pragmatic hero making tough choices, and a rebellious spirit that won't back down. Mika embodies all of that. And then you have those cool elements like the Worf effect, where her combat skills are enhanced by her emotional state, and the classic took a level in badass as she rises to the challenge. And that ending, with victory but a looming larger conflict, that's a bittersweet ending if I ever saw one.
It's a potent mix of elements that tap into our desire for justice, for progress, for seeing good triumph over injustice. We connect with that rebellious spirit, that refusal to accept things as they are, and we get a thrill out of seeing someone overcome adversity and become stronger. And the bittersweet ending, that's a reminder that real change is rarely easy or complete. It's a journey, not a destination.
So think about these two ninja stories, so different in their settings, but united by these themes of rebellion, loyalty, and the power of questioning what we think we know. Kai discovers his parents are way more than they seem, leading him to question his own identity. And Mika, she challenges the very core of her clan's beliefs, forging a new path for herself and potentially for others. Have you ever had a moment where someone you thought you knew revealed a hidden side, or maybe you felt that pull between following the rules and following your heart?
What stood out to you most from these stories? Was it the way Shadow Code blended technology and ancient ninja skills? Or maybe the moral dilemma at the heart of rebellion? Did you find yourself thinking about the hidden potential within ordinary people, or the courage it takes to defy deeply ingrained beliefs? These stories make you wonder, what other rigid structures, what traditions in our own lives or in the world at large might be ready for a shakeup? And what might be the catalyst for that change? Could it be a single act of defiance, a small crack in the foundation that sets a larger transformation in motion? It's something to think about.
Thanks for joining us for this adventure into the world of flash fiction ninjas. We hope these stories have given you something to ponder, maybe even inspired you to seek out more tales of the unexpected. Don't forget to rate and follow the Cowboys vs. Ninjas podcast for more episodes.